And did you know, like, when...
Alright,
I thought you, like... do you feel my hands twitching at all?
You got it, you good?
Okay, well, your hands, like, be twitching all, just, like...
Hey, make like, a good outro.
That's...
Alright,
What should I say for that? I was like, oh,
no, just wing it. Just kind of give it some...
Was the last one pretty good?
Yeah, it was alright. Just kind of, like, add to it, be like... We end this session
Is this
today...
starting? Is this starting?
Yeah.
T Brown, you good? Yeah. Alright.
I know something. Alright. Alright, everyone. We are here to contact famous people from the 1950s. Everyone's going to pick their own famous person to contact. So let's get this started. Alright. I'm going to pick Mickey Mantle. Hey, Mickey! Mickey, are you there?
I'm here.
You want to let us know about your childhood?
I was born October 20th, 1931 in Spivinaw, Oklahoma. My dad wanted me to grow up to be a baseball player and named me after a Philadelphia Athletics catcher, Mickey Cochran. I played baseball, football, and basketball all the way through high school.
Can you tell me a little bit about your baseball career?
Well, I started playing with my dad. Every day when he came home from the mines, he would pitch tennis balls to me right-handed, and my grandfather would pitch to me left-handed, helping me become one of the greatest switch hitters to play the game. At age 15, I played for the Baxter Springs Whiz Kids in the Semi-Pro League. While still playing for this team, a Yankee scout noticed me in 1948. I played for 2 minor league teams after this, the Independence Yankees in '49 and the Joplin Miners in 1950. Finally, I made it to the Major League in 1951. I was in a pretty big slump my first year, but I finally picked up my game after being sent back to the minors. In 1953, I hit a home run 565 feet, which is the longest home run to this day. 1956 was my best year. I won the Triple Crown, Male Athlete of the Year Award, the American League MVP Award, and the Player of the Year Award. We also won the World Series that year. I also won the MVP Award in 1957 and 1962, as well as the Golden Glove in '62. I played in 12 World Series in my 18 career, winning 7 of them. I was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1974.
What did you do after your career?
I lived in Dallas, Texas with my wife Merlin and my sons Mickey Jr., Danny, and Billy. I died on August 13, 1995 at the age of 64 due to liver cancer. I have a friend and fellow Yankees player, Joe DiMaggio, here with me. He can answer a few questions too.
Thanks.
Hey guys, just got back from chilling with my main Jesus. It's Joe DiMaggio here.
Tell me about your childhood.
I was born in Martinez, California on November 25th in 1914, the 8th of 9 children. My father was a fisherman and wanted me to be the same, but I hated it, and my father would always call me lazy and good for nothing.
What about your baseball career?
I made my professional debut on October 1st, 1932 for the San Francisco Seals of the Pacific Coast League. I got at least 1 hit in 61 consecutive games for a PCL record. I made my Major League debut on May 3rd, 1936 for the New York Yankees. I was nicknamed the Yankee Clipper and led the Yankees to 9 titles in 13 years. My most famous achievement is my MLB record-breaking 56-game hitting streak in 1941, and in 1943 I enlisted in the United States Army Air Forces and took a break from baseball. On February 7, 1949, I signed a contract worth $100,000, and I was the first player to break $100,000 in earnings. And by 1950, I was ranked the second best center fielder by the Sporting News, and I announced my retirement at the age of 37 on December 11th, 1951.
What were your relations with Marilyn Monroe?
I married Marilyn on January 14th, 1954. After the skirt blowing scene in the 7-year itch, we had an incident and had a yelling battle in the theater lobby. She filed for divorce on grounds of mental cruelty only 274 days after the wedding. After her marriage to Arthur Miller was ending, we spent time in Florida together as friends. When Marilyn died, I was devastated, and I claimed her body and arranged a funeral. I had a half-dozen red roses delivered 3 times a week for 20 years, and when I died, my last words were, "I'll finally get to see Marilyn."
Alright. Now you, Keegan. Who would you like to talk to?
Ray Charles.
Ray Charles. Hey Ray, you wanna let us know about your childhood?
I was born in Albany, Georgia on September 23, 1930, to Aretha Robinson, who was a sharecropper, and Bailey Robinson, who was a mechanic. I never saw much of my dad, so I was raised by Aretha and my dad's first wife, Mary Jane. I started going blind at the age of 4 and went completely blind at 7. I started getting my musical talents in school, where I learned how to play the piano from Mozart, Bach, and Beethoven.
What was your musical career like?
My musical career started when I moved to Jacksonville and played piano for bands at Ritz Theater in La Villa. For the next couple years, I played for many bands and artists. After that, I signed with Swing Time Records and recorded a couple more R&B hits, Baby, Let Me Hold Your Hand, and Kissin' Me Baby. After Swing Time didn't work out, I signed with Atlantic Records. I recorded I Got a Woman, which really boosted me up. It was my first #1 hit. I recorded a lot of other songs with Atlantic Records that became hits, but in 1959, I didn't negotiate a new contract with them. So I signed with ABC Paramount Records. Later in my career, I founded my own record label, Tangerine Records, which worked closely with ABC. In my entire career, I won 12 Grammys, among many other awards. I was also inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1986.
What was the lowest part of your career?
The lowest point in my career was probably when my heroin addiction consumed my life. I was arrested multiple times for possession, but I agreed to go to rehab to avoid jail time. I stopped my musical career during this time to try to overcome the addiction.
Thanks, Frank. Justin, who would you like to contact?
Frank Sinatra.
Frank. Hey, Frank. Want to let us know about your early life?
I was born in Hoboken, New Jersey. I'm an only child of Sicilian immigrants. It wasn't the safest place to be, so I wanted to become a boxer to protect myself.
What was your musical career like to you?
Well, it really started between 1943 to 1946 when I charted 17 different top 10 singles.
What is something interesting about your career?
I made my first movie acting debut in 1943 in Higher and Higher. I won an Oscar for my portrayal of the Italian-American soldier Maggio in From Here to Eternity.
What would you say is your greatest achievement?
Whenever I received a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award and headlined the 1965 Newport Jazz Festival with Count Basie's orchestra.
What would you say you're most known for?
I believe I was most known for From the Rat Pack and performing at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas alongside with the other members Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, Peter Lawford, and Joey Bishop.
When would you say your career ended or slowed down, or when you retired?
Well, I had a brief retirement in the early 70s, but I returned to making music again and became more politically active. I would say my career didn't end until the day I died on May 14, 1998. My last performance was in 1995 at the Palm Desert Marriott Ballroom in California.
Alright, thanks, Frank. Okay, guys. I'm glad we know how those 4 individuals kind of impacted our culture as we know today.
Yes, learned a lot.
Alright. Good session.
Good session.
I'm out. Give my laptop. Let's go. Let's freaking go.